Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spock,
And Lucas from HeroClix Headquarters.
and today we're going to be discussing our favorite figures from the recently released Justice League Unlimited set.
Yes.
I'll go ahead and go first. First off, I want to say, love the set in general. I've kind of been wanting a DC animated set for, well, ever.
Right.
And I've tried over the years to make team builds based on stuff from Justice League, especially like the original 7. Mm-hmm. The downside being that Hawkgirl figures are excruciatingly rare to be made. So,
yeah. And the older ones never really got the Justice League keyword.
Yeah,
either,
exactly.
So building theme was rough.
Yeah, but this, I mean, just yeah, and even still, to be fair, I could probably come up with an entire full set worth of stuff they didn't make that I wish they had.
Oh yeah.
Like the Ultimate.
Mm-hmm. Lots of good stuff.
Oh yeah. So it comes to my favorite figures from the set. They're in no particular order, just kind of the ones where the. So I'll start off with Booster Gold. Now, part of the reason with Booster Gold being on there is I really like Booster Gold. Plain and simple.
He's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's a favorite DC character of mine. Let's just dial right quick. And for 80 points, he's pretty decent. We've got he's got the Justice League Unlimited trait, which most of the figures in the set have, which is really useful for
removing those action tokens.
Yeah, for getting rid of those action tokens and just being able to not worry about basically having something additional to an additional way to get rid of action tokens aside from just okay, I've got so many figures with leadership, so. Have to put them all. I got to keep them all together or all next to people.
Yeah, you don't have to worry too much.
But with Justice League Limited, it's just like, hey, it's a 6, cool. I'll remove it from that guy.
Oh yeah.
Then we got the crowd control one where you can use barrier or either regularly or as a free action. If he uses it free, he creates 2 squares instead of 4.
Super useful.
Yeah, that is extremely useful. Then we got some running shots, some sidestep on attack. We got a special power giving him incapacitate and knockback, which. That's helpful as hell. Mm-hmm. We got a special power on damage, giving him perplex and probability control. When he uses perplex to target himself, he may instead modify it combat other than damage by 2, which is very useful.
Oh yeah.
Because he's got a 3 damage, so it's not too bad. And there are other ways to modify damage aside from just perplexers. There's enhancement.
Enhancement's the best.
Well, enhancement or empower, I would say, and so yeah. Next up, we've got Batman Beyond. Now, I didn't pull Batman Beyond in my case and a half, but I did manage to trade for him, so I was quite happy about that.
Nice.
And I love the Batman Beyond from the Batman the Animated Series set. Solid figure all around, and I feel like they really just kind of said, okay, well, let's take that and just kind of kick it up a notch. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, like, let's just add 25 points to the cost of him and, make him worth those extra 25.
Yeah, and they did. He's really good.
Yeah. We got, he doesn't have the Justice League Unlimited trait, sadly. But he does have the Boom Tube Travel trait, which gives him once per game phasing teleport, and when he uses it, his speed value becomes 12. And after resolutions, you can remove an action token from him, which that is really useful.
Mm-hmm. For moving up or escaping.
Yeah. Either charging into the fray or running the hell away. Then we've got multi-spectrum camouflage, which is basically super stealth to a degree. Mm-hmm. Opposing characters can't draw a line of fire to him if he is adjacent to blocking terrain, and there was actually a feat way back in the day called Camouflage that keyed off Shape Change. And if a character with Camouflage was adjacent to a wall or piece of square of blocking terrain, lines of fire to them were blocked. And there's this dial, and we just got a ton of stuff. We've got special attack and damage powers, got running shot, charge, and sidestep and flurry on speed. The attack special power gives him precision strike, and then you can choose one to use in your next turn. Blaze Claws, Fangs, Energy Explosion, Incap, Poison, or Smoke Cloud.
So, lots of good options.
Yeah, plenty of good options there. As for damage, he's got leadership, and as a free action, he can choose one. Again, he can choose one until the next turn. Close combat expert, perplex, outwit, or shape change. He's also got improved targeting, ignores hindering terrain. He's got indomitable, so built-in willpower, always a plus. Invulnerability, toughness, and combat reflexes on defense. And we got some mid-dial close, and again, looking at that, we got some mid-dial close combat expert too. All wrapped up with the Batman ally team ability.
For just regular stealth.
Yeah.
On top of the super stealth.
He's got, oh.
The monster.
Yeah. Next up, going with the starter Wonder Woman, full points. The main thing I really love about her is it's nice to see a figure with hypersonic who can actually do something with hypersonic aside from just, shoot or hit someone. Mm-hmm. In this case, it's her attack special power, Magic Lasso. Who knew? When she hits a character with a range attack, until your next turn, a hit target gains immobile and can't use damage powers, which pretty much cuts off so much.
Oh, yeah. It's nice, too, that it can't use, it's not like outwit.
Yeah.
So even if they're protected outwit, it cuts off a lot of things.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Then she's also got the founding members trait, which all the starter figures have. Speed +2, but only if you've got 4 or more characters with the Justice League keyword, which, she got Amazon, Deity, and Warrior, but really the best bet is Justice League for Wonder Woman.
For sure.
And for all friendly characters that can use the founding members trait, you get an action total +1. Only if force has 6 or more characters with the Justice League keyword, which, again, not that hard to do with this set.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get some hypersonic from Sidestep. We got Indomitable again, Invincible and Super Senses, Leadership and Empower. And pretty steady combat values too. She's pretty sturdy. And I mentioned for years trying to make a Justice League animated team, but Hawkgirl was always the issue. Well, we got a Hawkgirl in this set. We got 2 actually, but we're focusing on the one from Justice League, not the Justice Lords one. And she's honestly really good, and she's good at both point values, either 60 or 30. She's got Indomitable, she's got improved movement, ignores characters. She's got the Justice League Unlimited trait, like I mentioned with Booster Gold. She also has Nth Metal Mace. When she hits a character with the mystical keyword, after resolutions, that character is dealt 1 additional penetrating damage. We've also got Charge and Flurry on attack. On her first click and fourth click, you can see on the dial, we got her Charge and Flurry power, then regular Flurry for 2, and then back to special power and back to Flurry. Toughness, or combat reflexes and toughness on defense. The only thing I would add to this would probably, maybe a click or 2 of close combat expert, but even then it doesn't really work too well because, if she's right. She's got improved movement, ignores characters, so, she breaks away. Mm-hmm. So,
Maybe if she had some sidestep.
Yeah, if she had some sidestep, then sure. Yeah, but I don't feel, it's like, yeah, it'd be cool to do close combat expert, but it's still a good figure. Mm-hmm. Next up, I'm going with the rare Amazo. The Amazo episodes are some of my favorite Justice League episodes between Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. And Robert Picardo, who played the Doctor on Star Trek Voyager, as well as various other characters in various other movies and TV shows, did a great job voicing Amazo. And I've always been wondering just how they were going to do Amazo, because I like that we got 2 Amazos where you've got one with no powers, but he can pretty much get all the powers. Then you've got another one, the rare, who has pretty much all the powers, but can have even additional ones. Yeah, because, there's his dial. And as you've got practically everything on there. Mm-hmm. He's got improved targeting for ignores hindering terrain. He does have, he's got protected outwit, but only to a degree. I honestly thought that when they did this one, he was going to get the Quintessence team ability, but I think it works by just having, if a character with mystical keyword targets him, then he can be outwitted there.
Yeah, that's cool.
Also, the damage boost that mystical characters get against him is it's a nice balancing touch. Mm-hmm. Even if he is 290 points or 150 points.
Right.
And then we've got his power adaptation power or trait. Either at the beginning of your turn or after resolution when he takes damage, choose a standard power that a character within range and line of fire can use. A Baser can use that power until he chooses again. And if he's 290 points, you may choose an additional power and an additional character, and another standard power that character can use. And his range is 7. So yeah, that gives him a lot of possibility. He's got Justice League, Cosmic, and Robot, and I mean, he's a beast
for sure.
Also, that team, and that team ability also helps too.
Oh yeah.
Especially, and with it being Justice League, you've got a lot of options there. Just Huntress, Batman team ability, or the Common Flash in Justice League,
right?
And various other Superman. Though he's basically got the Superman team ability, so
yeah, the improved targeting.
Yeah, improved, and he flies, so yeah.
But you could still copy it if you wanted to.
Yeah, if you wanted to, you could.
Just for fun.
Next up, we got Cheetah. Cheetah's another one. Is one of those ones that falls on the list just because it's nice to have a Cheetah figure again, and she's actually kind of useful. I played a game between the original 7 Justice League members and the Injustice League, and she actually one-shotted the Flash. Just took him out like that. Then, but yeah, I mean, she's pretty solid. Oh yeah, right on top. There's the dial. She's got improved movement for hindering terrain, which makes it very easy for her to move around. We got the Injustice League trait, which all the Injustice League characters have. At the beginning of the game or turn, you roll a d6. On a 6, give it action to an opposing character that's 100 points or less. It's simple. It's quick. Okay.
And a good opposite to the Justice League
that too.
Team.
I love when they do traits like that. Where it's like, okay, here's one version, and here's the reverse on their opposition. Mm-hmm. Then she's got her cat-like reflexes trait, where allowing you to re-roll blades or super senses once per turn. Like that right there, that's pretty good right there.
Oh yeah.
Always nice to re-roll either of those. It's like, oh, I rolled a 1. Oh, hey, you know what? No. Hey, it's a 6 now.
And play her on that Earth X Wakanda map, so you get another reroll in case.
Yeah. Then we got some charge, some sidestep, blades for the whole dial, super senses and combat reflexes. She doesn't have willpower, but as cheap as she is, she's a good alpha strike beast, to be perfectly honest. She'll get in, she can do an attack, and if you're really lucky, maybe she can KO someone like that. Mm-hmm. Next up for me comes Huntress. Huntress is another one that I really have been wanting a new version of. The last time we got the Helena Bertinelli Huntress was Streets of Gotham.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it has been a while. I know we had the Earth 2 Huntress in, I think it was Superman Wonder Woman?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but that's Helena Wayne, not Helena Bertinelli. So, but it was nice to have her, and she got Birds of Prey, which fits. Batman Family. This kind of is one of my few complaints with the set. She wasn't really, as far as I can tell, aligned with the Batman family in Justice League, but it kind of seems like what they did was they said, okay, well, we're making this character. This character overall, what keywords can they have? Okay, give them all those keywords. Mm-hmm. And because we probably won't see another one for a while. But she got the Justice League Unlimited trait. And this is one thing I really like about the figure itself, not just the fact that we got a new Huntress, but she has both a close combat and range combat dial. And you can, as a free action, switch back and forth between them. The range combat dial's got running shot, energy explosion, energy deflection, and range combat expert, while the close combat dial has charge, quake, combat reflexes, and close combat expert. It's honestly very, very solid, very utilitarian, and definitely worth the 40 points.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Next up, the Question.
Gotta love Question.
Question definitely falls on it just because I've been wanting a new question figure, a Vic, an act, a Vic Sage question that wasn't from the Trinity of Sin. Again, like Huntress, he's only 40 points. We've got 2 traits on him. You got just the Unlimited trait as well as Question Authority. Give him a power action. If there's no d6 on the card, roll a d6 and place it there. Whenever a character within 6 squares in line of fire makes an attack roll, you may remove the d6 from this card and replace it. Replace the die in the roll with it. So, yeah, I was trying to refer when we played earlier. I was trying to remember what you were talking about, but yeah, that would be it. He's got also he can make he can do free smoke cloud to generate 1 square of smoke in it. So, which is a great way to just kind of like, oh, I'm in stealth now, can't see me.
It's really powerful.
Yeah. Then he's got indomitable combat reflexes for his whole dial. Some outwit and some perplex. Yeah.
Super solid for the points.
Oh yeah. For 40 points, I mean, it's hard to do better than that. Next up, Speedy. This is definitely one of the more I'm just glad we got the character. Roy Harper is one of my favorite DC characters and one of the most horribly treated ones, I might add, just in general.
Yeah.
And so we haven't seen him in Click since Trinity War?
Yeah, I think
the
so.
OP Kit figure.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
The last one.
And considering DC killed him off a year and a half ago, I was honestly surprised to see him make the list for this set because, well, he's dead.
And one thing I would also like to know is that I'm glad they gave him his own sculpt.
Yeah.
Because they could have easily given him the Green Arrow sculpt and switched the head.
Yeah.
But
I would say it makes perfect sense too, because it feels right that they did that because that episode that he's in, it's very clear that him and Green Arrow do not get along anymore. So, but he's got the Justice Unlimited trait. We've also got Quantum Arrow as a trait. As a power action, once per game, choose a square within range and line of fire. When he can then use Pulse Wave at no cost as if he occupied that square, which very useful.
it's awesome for only 45 points.
Yeah. Then we got on speed, he has leap, climb, and running shot. There's the whole dial. We got some mid dial range combat expert, some late dial willpower. We got some early dial inertial deflection. We got also some energy explosion, precision strike. We got some sidestep, some regular running shot. Yeah, he's 6 range, so very not bad.
Yeah.
Finally, and this is one I like both these for different reasons, but the two non-chase Green Arrows. The sculpts are the same, but I'll still just kind of put them side by side. And just the perfect sculpt. So the uncommon comes in at 40 points. We've got he actually doesn't have the Justice Unlimited trait. This is basically Green Arrow from the first episode of JLU, where he's basically kidnapped by the League. Turns down their offer of membership, and it's like, okay, fine, we'll fly you back home, but first, go to China with Supergirl and Captain Atom. Like, okay, fine. But so his 2 traits, we got this team thing is new to me. I usually work alone. Gives a damage +1 when making range attacks. Range +2 if he's not within 4 squares of another friendly character. And he's already got a 6 range. So if you keep him away from practically everyone else, he's got 8 range. And with the Justice League Unlimited trait that pretty much everyone else has, well, hey, you don't have to worry about having someone with leadership near him to constantly heal him or constantly pull tokens off of him. Looking at his dial, we get some top and bottom dial leadership. Then we've got sidestep in the middle. Got a whole bunch of different powers on attack, and a good chunk of willpower. And I think willpower the entire dial on defense. We also have another trait, an arrow for every situation, which allows him to use his displayed attack power as free, except for precision strike, which is what he starts off with. So, Oops.
Well, if he could use any of those other ones at the top, he'd be amazing.
Oh yeah, he would. He would definitely be. He'd be a god tier figure using any of those right off the bat. Then we've got the rare. So the rare is more of a. He's been running with the league a while, so he's more into the team thing. But we got the Justice Unlimited trait. He's also got improved movement, ignores hindering, and elevated. We've also got a second trait. Say dirtbag. Attack +1 for each friendly character that Green Arrow shared a keyword with that has been KO'd this game. Modify damage +3, but only if he's the only character left on the force. Which, yeah, I mean, it makes it kind of does put a huge target on him right at the bat. Because if you don't want him to constantly have his attack going up, 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 and then possibly, oh wait, he's the only one left. Oh no. So here's his dial. We got some running shot, some sidestep. We got energy explosion, and followed by the special attack power, giving him steel energy, but with close or range attacks. On defense, we got some inertial deflection, but then that gives way to a special defense power that gives him toughness and willpower. However, the willpower is only if a friendly character that he shared a keyword with has been KO'd this game. And then on damage, we've got leadership and range combat expert. So, I mean, he's solid. He is all around solid. Mm-hmm. All right.
On to me.
Yeah.
So, all right, I like to start with the commons first. I like generic figures a lot. So
Same.
I like these scientist dudes. We got the Cadmus Labs scientist. Pretty much just generic dude in a lab coat. What I really like about him, for 15 points, he has damage power that gives him Empower, and as a power action, he can choose an adjacent friendly character, and they can use Battle Fury this turn until your next turn, which I just really like Battle Fury right now. Shape change is so annoying.
Shape change has always been annoying.
It always has been, but just giving people Battle Fury is kind of a cool way to help.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because that way they don't have to have it all the time. Mm-hmm. So you can carry them, they can shoot, and then if you need to...
Okay, oh hey, you're here, cool. You got Battle Fury now.
Battle Fury, now you can freaking get through that shape change. And then the other one we have is the Star Labs scientist, the girl generic person in a lab coat. I really like her a lot too. She's only got 3 clicks of nothing really, but she's got a trait that gives her... she can roll a d6, and on a 1 she can use Empower, 2 Enhancement, 3 Support, 4 Perplex, 5 Outwit, and 6 Probability Control. And then friendly characters named Star Lab Scientists can use that power until your next turn, or until a trait with this name is activated again. And she's only 15 points, so you could use 2 or 3 or 4 of her, and just keep rolling that as many times as you need to get whatever support power you need. And then have like 3 or 4 people that can use it.
Yeah.
Get like 3 perplexes, 3 probs, whatever.
Is that what one of them?
Yeah, 3 outwits, yeah. And 3 enhancements, whatever. It's just really cool. And she has like so many keywords. Central City, Fawcett City, Gotham City, Keystone City, Metropolis, Project Cadmus, Star Labs, Star City, and Scientist. I really like to use her as my generic Felicity Smoke if I'm trying to do an Arrow-based team, Arrowverse team. She's really fun for that. And then next, I have Dr. Fate here. Now, you need like 20 of him, because he's amazing. At least 5.
I've got a few.
Oh yeah, I managed to get 5 so far. I want more. But that's because he has a trait, duplicates of myself throughout time and space. During forced construction, you may only add Dr. Fate for 10 points if you also have a Dr. Fate starting at 65 points. And for all characters with this trait, if you have 2 to 4 characters named Dr. Fate on your force, you get action total +1. And if you have 5 or more such characters, you get action total +2. So if you can get 5 of them on your team, you can get +2 actions, which is great. He also has the Justice League Unlimited trait, like we've talked about. And then a quick look at his dial. He's got some awesome powers there. He's got some telekinesis, some enhancement, and then he gets some like probability control. He's just a really good supportive figure.
Yeah.
And for 75 points, you could get 2 TKs for what 100 and he'd be 115 points if you had 5 of him.
Yeah.
105 points if you had 65 and 4 more than 10. That gives you like 5 telekinesis and 5 people with enhancement. So he's really strong, and I like using a lot of him. Only downside being with the new team up cards, you can't use 5 of him and any team up cards.
Yeah.
Because you can't have the same named characters. But he's a lot of fun. And then the next one here I have is Vixen. There's a quick look at the back of her dial there. The main reason I like her is just because she's got a little bit of pick of power. She's got free choose a standard power printed on her card, and she can use the chosen power till your next turn. And she's got a lot. She's got charge, combat reflexes, and exploit weakness to start with. And then you got some poison, quake, flurry, blades, leap, climb, plasticity,
flurry,
super senses, invulnerability, willpower, regen, close combat expert. Like there's so many.
Honestly, that's how she should be, though.
Yeah.
Like that, or like those one where you, what was it? Civil War Taskmaster.
Yeah.
And Crazy Jane.
Yeah.
Where you say, okay, I'm gonna put him on this click.
Yeah, that would be cool too if you had something like that. We just spin her to a certain click.
But you either pick a power on the dial or pick a click on the dial to turn her to. That's how Vixen needs to be, just because Animal Man should be the same way if they ever remake him.
Mm-hmm. For sure. And she's got the Justice League International, Animal, Celebrity, and Mystical keywords, and some improved movement hindering terrain for only 75 points. She's pretty solid.
Yeah.
And again, I just like her because we haven't really gotten hardly any Vixens that have Justice League keyword. So, I don't know, maybe one.
Streets of Gotham.
Streets of Gotham, there was one?
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
Yeah. Last Vixen we got, I think, was out of Trinity War, and that had Just League of America.
Yeah, Just League of America, which was a pretty cool team, too.
Yeah.
And then the last common I have is the common Flash, who actually has the Injustice League trait and team ability, because this is the Great Brain Robbery episode.
I love that they made some episode-specific versions of characters, too.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Just like how they would do some figures based specifically off of certain comics.
Yeah.
But specifically off of certain episodes.
Like the Prime Batman, Flash and the Great Brain Robbery, Flash and Lex.
Mm-hmm. A lot of fun ones.
Yeah.
But he has, so for plus 10 points, he's only 30 points to start with. But if you want to pay 40 points for him, he can use the trait where when he would be KO'd, you may instead replace him with the number 8 Lex Luthor on click number 3 and his protected pulse wave, which is just cool, gives you a little bit of a second chance. He's got that Outwit and Hypersonic to start with for only 35 points, and that Injustice League team ability is pretty helpful too. Just a nice cheap Flash with that kind of second life.
Other than I actually prefer the uncommon Flash. The improved movement's nice. The willpower's nice.
Oh yeah, that's really good too.
And
the starter set one is good too.
They really didn't go wrong with the Flash in this set at all.
Lots of good Flashes. My top 5 Flash list is gonna be pretty hard.
It's gonna be number 1. This one from Just League. Number 2. This one from Just League. Yeah.
Pretty much. And then starting off with the uncommons, I have the Red Tornado. Who also has Justice League Unlimited trait, and he's got this awesome trait where he can use Force Blast, and people within range with charge and combat reflexes can't ignore it. And there's a look at the back of his card. And then his attack special is really nice too. He can use, as a power action, he can use telekinesis twice at no cost, which is always great.
Oh yeah.
I mean, 2 for the price of 1, really, and then some sidestep. Yeah. Sidestep, flights, indomitable, and 18 with invulnerability is awesome. And a little bit of 3 range. A little bit of range.
Yeah.
It's just all around solid figure.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And we don't get enough Red Tornadoes either.
No.
So definitely need more of him.
I think last one we got the robot Red Tornado was
Teen Titans?
Yeah.
It's
Teen
been
Titans.
a long time. That's like right after I started.
Because it was the Red Tornado out of Superman Wonder Woman, Best Earth 2 one.
Exactly. And that was a good one too, but doesn't have Justice League.
Nope.
And then I also have the question on my list, so I'll just show this one off here. Again, looking super awesome.
No crackpot.
Yeah. Again, like he said, he's got the Justice League Unlimited trait. He's got the Question Authority, the power action, where you can roll a d6, put it on his card, and then whenever a character within 6 squares line of fire would make an attack, you can replace the die. Any die replacement effects are super powerful, especially at only 45 points. I'm sorry, 40 points, not 45. And then that special attack power, we can use Smoke Cloud, which is 1 square, and he has Stealth the whole dial and Combat Reflexes the whole dial, so it's really well defended for 40 points.
Oh yeah.
Plus Indomitable and Outwit on top of that. I like the Indomitable because that gives you a good theme team probber too.
Yeah.
When you have a theme team prob and a die replacement character for only 40 points that is safely tucked away in Stealth, it's just, he's too good, man. I'm glad I pulled 2 of them.
Yeah, same here.
And then next on the uncommons, I have the uncommon Supergirl, the one in the blue. The rare one's pretty good too, but I think her trait's a little risky. Kind of 50-50, either remove a token every turn or you get double token every turn.
Yeah.
But this one I like because she's got just simple flurry and hypersonic speed on her movement power, and then just good stats and powers the whole time. For 100 points, she's a solid Supergirl, and we don't get enough good Supergirls.
We don't get Supergirls too often.
Yeah.
I think before this, the last one was in World's Finest. That was the Apocalypse one.
Yeah, and then the Superman Wonder Woman had the...
Before that, which had Ranger and Red
one.
Lantern, yeah.
Yeah, she was awesome, but again, no Justice League keyword.
Yeah. Well, she's not often a member of the League.
Yeah, but...
Having her with Justice League in this makes perfect sense.
Yes.
A comic-based one with Justice League, like,
as someone...
Does she, though?
No, I guess that's a fair point, but as someone who plays mostly Justice League... as far as whenever I play DC, I either play Justice League or Batman Family 90% of the time.
Same.
Right?
I feel seen.
It's just nice to see, and I just really like her. She's a solid
she is.
100 points.
She really is. Having gone up against her, yes. She is.
And then next I have the Crimson Avenger, the Prime version of the Question. He's awesome. For only 30 points, he has the Justice League Unlimited trait. He has Knockout Gas. Smoke Cloud is free, but only generate 4 markers, so that gets you 3 more than the Question does. And then when he uses it after resolutions, you can choose an opposing character occupying or adjacent to one of his Smoke Cloud markers and give them an action token. That's helped me out so many times. I've used him like 2 or 3 times already, and it's so good. It's just a free end cap that automatically hits. And then you don't even really need line of fire if you snake it around a wall with the smoke. And then he also has Stealth, Poison, Combat Reflexes, and Perplex to start with. So again, just a really good, cheap supporting figure.
We haven't had the classic Crimson Avenger ever before this.
Oh yeah.
They had the more recent modern day one in Collateral Damage.
Ooh.
That's the last time we ever had a figure named Crimson Avenger made.
Yeah, that's before my time.
Yeah.
That is before
she was unique, and I actually got some good use out of her with on JSA teams.
Yeah, he's got All-Star Squadron, Justice League, 7 Soldiers, Soldier, Martial Artist, and past keywords, so a lot of good keywords there.
Yeah, definitely.
And then, before I get to the rares, I got the starter set Superman. I figured if there's one figure I like out of the starter set, it's the Superman. The Martian Manhunter's pretty good, but
Superman and Wonder Woman were both really good in the starter set.
yeah, I mean, they're all really good.
Yeah.
Except for maybe Batman.
Yeah.
But this dude, I mean...
The only thing I'm not too keen on with them is the fact that it's a Superman with no range.
Yeah, no range and no Superman team ability to really...
Well, I kind of linked the Superman team ability to the range.
I mean, he's got flight.
Because if he had range but no Superman team ability, but without having range, it's like, okay, I can forgive the lack of Superman ally.
Yeah.
It's like, I kind of don't like the, well, she doesn't, Supergirl doesn't have range either, so, it works for her too.
Yeah. But I just really like the, everything about him. He's got the founding members trait that the starter Wonder Woman has, where you get speed +2, but only if you have 4 or more characters with the Justice League keyword on your force. And then for all friendly characters with this trait, you get action total +1 if you have 6 or more with the Justice League keyword. So the +2 speed really comes in handy with that hypersonic speed to start with, and that 12 attack is great to see all the time. I love playing him at the full 125. He's not bad at 60 either, though.
Yeah.
He's got traded super strength, which you need to see on a Superman.
Yeah. I just wish he had some charge.
Charge, I know. Charge instead of sidestep would have been nice.
Yeah, a click or two.
Yeah.
Just, you know,
maybe just on the 60-point line.
a little bit of charge.
Yeah.
Just a touch of charge.
Just enough to get him there. And then he's got free, place Superman adjacent to an opposing character he knocked back at least 1 square this turn, then make a close attack targeting that character. Which is awesome because, you know, super strength gives you that knockback for close attacks.
Yeah.
So, you know, hypersonic for 10 or 12 if you have Justice League with 4 more characters. And then punch somebody with a 12 attack and 4 damage, and then knock them back a couple squares, hopefully, and then free, place them there, and then make another close attack. Somebody's going to die.
That's going to be like a one-turn KO.
That's a one-turn KO on anybody. Which, of course, according to the trait, what we have here is a rare opportunity for me to cut loose. That's what he's going to do.
Yeah.
He's going to knock somebody out in 1 turn. And then
I love that they use that quote too.
You know, that's the best.
That's one of the best quotes from the whole series. That speech he gives to Darkseid.
Yeah, it's so epic.
He's like, "Oh, Darkseid, go get it!
I can finally beat somebody up." And then he has another defense power and show you how powerful I really am. Stop, invulnerability, and super senses, and he can't be healed. You know, can't be healed kind of sucks, but it doesn't matter. He's got 2 stop clicks in a row on the back end there with some Battle Fury, he goes back up to an 11 and 12 attack with 4 damage.
Yeah.
And then he can just demolish people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I love him.
Oh, yeah.
And then, speaking of Supermans, we're going to start off with the rare Superman here, the Superman Beyond. Oh, yeah. I love the Batman Beyond series.
Oh, yeah, same here.
Now, he does have an 8 range with the Superman ally team ability.
Yeah.
There we go. He's got, we'll just look at the dial, some charge, a special attack power, some invincible, and some 4 damage with leadership. But then he also has the boom tube travel trait that we talked about, where he gets that once per turn.
Game.
once per game. Phase teleport with a 12 movement, which is again good to get him in or out of a fight.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's got this awesome other trait, 7 decades under a yellow sun, super strength, and he has protected outwit except from characters that are higher points or that can use the Superman enemy team ability. And he has 175 points. There's not a lot that's higher than him that you have to worry about for the outwit.
Yeah, at least in normal games.
Yeah, at least in a normal game. If you're playing like a 600-point game, maybe.
You know, I'm kind of looking at someone that has a higher point value.
Right. And then his special on his attack power is amazing. Quake, when he uses it and targets more than one character, each hit character is dealt 4 damage instead of 2.
Ouch.
And when he has a natural printed 4 anyway, that's just crazy.
Yeah.
If you can charge on 2 or 3 characters, you have a potential to deal
so it's
much
gross.
damage. You can knock out like a whole team of these weaker like 30-40 point characters in one go.
Yeah.
And then he has another stop click power like the other Superman has.
And again in a row.
Stop, invulnerability, and when he clears 2 action tokens, you can heal him a click. So this one actually gives some built-in healing as opposed to not being able to be healed, and he gets 3 stop clicks at the end in a row.
Yeah.
Especially when the first one there lands you on a 13 attack with some precision strike. It's insane.
Yeah.
It gets crazy. He is so powerful. I wish all Superman were that powerful.
Yeah, right?
I mean, like, he deserves it most of the time. And then starting off some super rares. Stargirl and Stripe. I've been meaning to watch the show. It looks pretty epic. I just really like the fact that they have some cheap, like 30 and 35 point options on their dial. and they're pretty good. They both have the Justice League Unlimited trait. Stargirl has Starlight Snares once per turn. When she hits a standard opposing character, she can the hit character has immobile until your next turn, or after resolutions, she can use telekinesis at no cost, but with a +3 attack for that action. So you can either stick them there or get a +3 attack to try and move them wherever you want them, really. And then she has a stop click with energy shield deflection on her last click, where she gets some running shot pulse wave. So it's really nice. I actually really want to try her out on the 30-point line, just to see if somebody punches her onto that stop click and she gets that surprise running shot pulse wave.
Yeah, she's on my list. The three I still need from the set.
Oh yeah. And then Stripe is cool. He's got 90 or 35 points there. His special defense power gives him stop, defend, and invulnerability. And then on his damage power, he gets leadership and perplex. And as a unique modifier, when he uses leadership and succeeds, when he uses perplex this turn to target another friendly character, he can instead modify a combat value except damage by +2, which is always great. And he has that at both point lines to start out with. So again, at the 35-point line, getting that leadership and that perplex and potential +2 perplex is amazing, especially when you combo that with Justice League Unlimited trait. Lots of token removal, lots of perplexing. And I kind of wish this stop click was at the end so he'd get knocked into it. But starting off on it's not bad either, because that gives you protected outwit on his invulnerability and defend. So
you just have to worry about penetrating damage.
Yeah.
Not that anyone does that.
Right? And then, oh no.
You skipped over some rares.
I skipped over a couple rares. Whoops.
Yeah.
I did.
I started to think I forgot to put some cards in there.
No, it's all good. We'll backtrack to the rares a little bit. I also have Green Arrow. He already talked about Green Arrow, so I want to talk about it too much.
Yeah, it's not much else to say, really.
He's really good. I mean, he looks awesome. He's got a 12 attack to start with.
Yeah. I didn't mention that, so.
I prefer the rare one over the uncommon one just a little bit.
Yeah.
The uncommon one
agree.
is really good still for 40 points.
Yeah. And the rare is great for 60.
Yeah, exactly. They're just, Green Arrow is awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't show off their sculpts. They look, Stargirl and Stripe look really nice up close, so I wanted to put them in front of the camera real quick. I'm sorry, I got out of order.
That's all good.
But they look cool. Alright, so we'll go back to the rares again. Static. Static. The rare Static I like a lot more than the uncommon one. I loved the Static Shock TV show back in the day, and when they brought him into Justice League, it was pretty freaking awesome.
Honestly, my exposure to Static is very limited. I think it mostly is just from the JLU episode, the Once and Future thing.
Yeah.
I knew who the character was. I remember when Milestone Comics first popped on the scene in the 90s, but I didn't read any. It was at a point where I was only reading Marvel and Image books, and I just so I wasn't reading anything by DC. I think I knew about the Milestone books for Wizard magazine, and that's my exposure to him.
I always watched him in the show, so I don't have any exposure to him in the comics, but the show was freaking awesome. And I mean, it's nice that we got the young version of him. I mean, if I had the convention exclusive, it's 1,000 times better. But I'm just glad to see him in general.
Yeah.
The Static is a really cool character. And the funny thing is, I always thought that he just grew up and became Black Lightning. But apparently it's two different people. I mean...
Yeah.
So I learned that. That's one of those things you learn. But he's got that Boom Tube Travel trait where he's got that once per game phase teleport. He's got the trait where he can use energy shield deflection and force blast, and if he's within 3 squares of a debris marker, you can modify all of his combat values by +1, which is really cool. If you can team him up with somebody else to shoot out a wall for him, just put down a debris marker, and then he's got some really good stats. I mean, they're a little above average. He's got some 11 attack. It's fairly average stats, but then once you start knocking out some walls and giving him some debris markers, he gets really good.
Yeah.
And then he also has special on his damage, Chain Lightning. When he makes an attack with more than one target, modify damage +1 for each target within 3 squares of him. And after resolutions, give a hit character an action token. So again, more stat modifications there. He gets +1 to all values if he's within 3 of a debris marker, and then he gets +1 damage for each target that he targets within 3 of squares of him. And then after resolutions, you can give one of them an action token. And yeah, one hit character an action token.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, we've got some 5 range triple target, which could be a 6 range if he's within 3 squares of a debris marker. Triple target is nice for that special, and then
You definitely need someone that can, with improved movement, ignores and destroys blocking.
that would help a lot too. Just walk through some.
Someone just
blocking
kind
for him.
of run through and smash up all the walls.
Oh yeah, just clear the way and then let him do his thing. He's got some telekinesis to start with, some running shot, of course, some super senses. He goes into some enhancement, and then at the back there he gets some running shot and some pulse wave. He's really cool. I just really like Old Man Static. It's really awesome.
Yeah.
For 100 points, it's a pretty solid figure. And then I also have Hot Girl on my list. There's not a lot else I can say about her either. I mean, she's an amazing close combat figure.
Yeah.
Improved movement with the charge and the flurry. It's great. 60 or 30 points. She's amazing.
Yeah.
I love it. And then Martian Manhunter, the rare one. The starter one's great too. I've used him on some teams for some stuff, but the rare one is just such a solid Martian Manhunter.
We were talking about this earlier. My only problem with the various Martian Manhunters in this set is I feel like they should be truly on par with the Supermans in the set.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, Martian Manhunter basically has Superman's power set plus shape-shifting and telepathy.
Mm-hmm.
So and being able to become intangible.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, you could easily make just an insanely powerful figure out of him. And I just feel like the designer is like, no, we'll scale him back a bit.
Yeah, that's true. He could have easily had
So
an
moving
extra
attack.
running shot would be nice. Penetrating blast with some more than just mind control.
Yeah.
Mind powers. So he also has the Justice League Unlimited trait. Shape shifting and intangibility trait gives him shape change and super senses, so double rollouts. And then when he uses shape change and succeeds, you may change the target of that attack to a character other than the attacker that is adjacent to Martian Manhunter, even if otherwise an illegal target, which the few times I played him just came up a lot. You just make one shape change roll and all of a sudden they're hitting their best friend.
You're shooting your ally now.
It gets pretty ridiculous if you're not paying attention. And then he has a special on his movement where you can use mind control and phase teleport, and when he uses phase teleport and moves 4 squares or less after resolutions, he can make a close attack. I wish it said close or range because he has a 6 range. And again, it only lets him move 4 squares, which if you look at his dial here, he's got a 10 or a 9 movement that whole time. I wish it said at least 5 squares. A running shot or a charge type of thing.
Basically make it, phasing.
If you move half or less, then you can, why not? But he does start with an 11 attack, 18 defense with some invincible, and
leadership for 4 straight clicks.
For 4 damage.
That too. Like 4 damage to start with, and then a 4-click block of leadership, which is more than you see on most leadership characters.
Oh yeah.
It's usually like 1 or 2 clicks at the beginning.
Yeah, and then they just forget it.
Earth X Doc Ock has got like 2 in the middle.
Yeah.
I think it's him. But yeah, I mean 4. That's just insane. It's like
you can really count on it.
Yeah. I mean, you might not be able to, maintain the. You might not be able to always pull off the leadership role, but at least you got the extra action.
Yeah, the extra action too is nice, and when you combo the leadership plus the Justice League Unlimited, you got 2 potential ways of removing a token. Mm-hmm. It's really nice.
Yeah.
But I saved the best for last, even though you already talked about him. Booster Gold is maybe my second favorite character from this set. Of course, you already talked about him and showed you the dial, so You know, he starts off with that running shot, 6-range double target, 10 attack with that special that gives him the incap and the knockback. And I mean, knockback is nice when it's just gives you knockback, and people don't really expect that to be knocked back off a ledge and take 2 more damage. And then he's got that awesome special perplex and prob, and then if he perplexes himself, he gets +2, which is really strong to get him to a 20 defense or a 12 attack. You can't perplex the damage +2, but who cares? +2 attack and incap is a really strong double target. But the main reason I love him is that barrier or barrier as free trait for the 2-square barrier.
Yeah.
Just so strong. I mean, even when he's got willpower, but even when he has to eventually clear, you just barrier yourself off, +2 your defense, and you got prob. He's practically untouchable as long as you don't get right in his face.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you got the Justice League Unlimited trait is just icing on the cake, really.
Absolutely.
And then my favorite figure is, of course, Batman Beyond. Being a huge fan of Batman and a huge fan of Batman Beyond the show, as soon as I saw this figure previewed, I was like, I must have this.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to pull it in my case, thankfully. He's got that improved targeting hindering. He's got that boom tube travel once per game. The multi-spectrum camouflage, which when he's adjacent to blocking, he's got the super stealth. It's so good. And then he's got so many pickup powers. It's crazy. I mean, you start with precision strike, and then you can have blades, energy, explosion, incap, poison, or smoke cloud. And then on damage, he starts with leadership, and then he can choose to have close combat, expert, perplex, outwit, or shape change. And then, you know, good stats too. And love to see some invulnerability, Batman team ability. And he's good at both point lines, 125 or 75.
I'm definitely going to be doing a old and busted versus new hotness video on the 2 Batman Beyonds.
Oh yeah, they're both good.
Yeah,
I mean, it's cool.
It's like I don't know how it's gonna come because like they're really both good.
They're both amazing. The only thing I wish he had is the old one could choose Steel Energy. This one can't.
Yeah.
Because once you get in the fight, that Steel Energy just to heal a click or 2 can be the difference. And Penetrating Blast too.
Yeah.
He could choose Penetrating Blast. I don't think this one can.
No.
But he's got a lot of.
He's got a lot of. It's
a give and take.
Yeah, they both have their ups and downs.
It's also nice to see how this one's got 75 and a 125, and that one was 100. So it's like a nice middle.
Yeah, exactly.
You got whatever point value you really want. But yeah, there's a lot of great figures in this set as a whole. I really enjoyed it.
And we both wish we could have gotten Darkseid.
Yes, Darkseid would have been nice.
I'm just glad that we got a new Darkseid.
Darkseid is awesome. Yeah. I mean, yeah, like you said, because we don't really get a lot of DC stuff in general.
Period. So, we don't get a lot of DC stuff. Period.
I mean, we're getting like 4 or 5 Marvel sets this year.
4 booster sets plus
4
the
booster sets plus the Black Widow gravity feed. So, and then just this one DC. But at least it's a great set.
Yeah, it really is. If there's just going to be one DC set, I'm glad it was a really good one. It's hard to pick a figure I just straight up do not like.
I know. I mean, this is narrowing down from like another half of the set that I wanted to talk about.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But we can't be here all day.
Yeah.
So
that's it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. I'll be linking Lucas's channel in the description box. This is Rock and Roll. Also, links to my Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying live long and rock hard.
See you guys.